Hi, I'm Lonnie, a Simple Moore. Welcome to Chess with the Acting Sultan. In this episode, we will discuss chess's three elements: time, space, and material. Learn two, and it doesn't matter if you have control of the third or not, you will still be able to win, such as that pyramid system. The Buddha instructed that in order to attain enlightenment, one must strive equally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Chess is a game that allows one to thrive mentally. If you learn the skills of this game, wherever you go, you will be respected and you can make some friends. Sometimes some quality friends. Sometimes some bullies and jokers that make other people real mad on the chessboard. But here, there should be no emotions. This is a game of intellect, and some people convert that to emotions. But that's not the idea. This is a battlefield. This is a struggle. This is a place where you can bully your opponent, where you can be mean and cruel and vicious and violent, all while being silent and allowing your moves to do all of that for you. So, when I was 8 years old, my grandfather, Marvin Braille, taught me how to play chess. He taught me the algebraic notation, algebraic from Arabic, which is associated with this chessboard on a grid. Everything is from A to H and from 1 to 8. So this square is D4, this square is E4, this square is A1, this square is B1, this square is H1, H2, H8, D8. Got the idea? Got the idea of the grid? All right. So, time, space, and material are the three elements of chess. If you have the advantage in two, you should be able to convert that advantage into a win. An example of how to gain two of the three elements is seen in what's called the Banco Gambit by Pal Banco, the grandmaster who played it first. It's a defense, so we're looking at black here. Whenever you talk defense, you're talking black. Openings, attacks are white references. White plays here, C4. Black plays C5. Looks like a free pawn. We're not going to talk about this move here because you can learn this in a book. Just pick up a book or online sources for the Banco, B-E-N-K-O Gambit. All right. Then black plays B5. White takes the pawn, black plays here. White takes the pawn, black takes the pawn. It's white's move, but with looking at the board right now, black has a knight developed, black has a bishop developed, black has an open diagonal for the queen, and black has an open file for the rook without even moving, and white has nothing developed and a lone pawn out there that's going to need protecting soon. Ideas with this is eventually, once this pawn can be supported, then it's going to push. These bishops will trade. White will be prevented from castling. Black still has an advantage in time and space in exchange for the material disadvantage of one pawn. This is an example. Another example is an attack where white sacrifices material to gain time and space. Comes off E4, E5, D4, pawn takes, C3, pawn takes, bishop to C4, pawn takes, bishop takes. It's black's to move. It's black to move, but black has nothing developed. Black has 2 pawns, a material advantage that usually black will give part, all of, or more back just to save from getting the king checkmated. White has 2 bishops developed, the queen developed, a pawn controlling the center of the board, and all of this power barreling down on the unprotected king here. This is called a Swiss gambit. White trades the material disadvantage of the 2 pawns for the time and space advantage to attack. A game like this is not expected to go into the end game. If this goes into the end game, black with 2 pawns up should win. What's an end game? An end game is when everything but 1 or 2 pieces is on the board and you got a couple or 1 pawn left. You're down to the last. All right, one more time, space, material. This one's known as the Moor gambit. D4, D5, E4. Pawn takes pawn, knight to C3. Attacking the pawn. Knight to F6, defending the pawn. White plays F3, offering another pawn. Black takes. White takes with the knight. And black has the advantage, black has the advantage of material, 1 pawn. White has the advantage of time and space. And a good attack that's going to come here at F7, once this bishop plays here and white castles and this knight comes into place somewhere, there's going to be an incredible amount of pressure on that square. If black castles over here, this square is going to be lost anyway, and the pawn's going to be regained. Those are the ideas, the theories, and some tactics. All right, that's lesson 1. Coming up next on Chess with the Acting Sultan, pawn structure, the Moorish Grand Masters Maurice Ashley and Hikaru Nakamura. As well, follow along how these chess lessons tie in with the sword lessons, with the Kung Fu lessons, and with everything and how all of this Moorish culture is connected. See you next time on Chess with the Acting Sultan. The only one, white or black. Why? Because it has no brothers to its side to support it. Is an outpost for the enemy. The 4 pawn weaknesses.